Guests at the coronation must follow strict rules, such as a cap on how much they can talk. The Archbishop of Canterbury crowned the king at Westminster Abbey, in a process that has been going on for hundreds of years. Some important people were called to Westminster Abbey, and they had to follow certain rules as they watched the Archbishop of Canterbury crown the king there. As you might expect, people who have been invited to the coronation have to meet a number of strict standards. Since King Charles and Queen Camilla are being crowned, there are, of course, rules about how to act during the event. These rules are included with very specific rules about what to wear. David and Victoria Beckham, Stephen Fry, Prime Minister Rishi Sunak, and First Lady of the United States Jill Biden were all asked, but Jill Biden's husband, President Joe Biden, was unable to come. Everyone who was going to go was told not to bring any kind of camera, video camera, or device that records sound. They are told not to talk too much while the music is playing before the service. And they have to make sure that all electronic devices, like cell phones and other gadgets, are turned off. About 7:30 in the morning, people who were going to the coronation started to move into Westminster Abbey. Around 7:45, Stephen Fry was seen entering the building. Dozens of people walked into the church wearing suits, fascinators, military uniforms, medals, and religious clothing. Shortly before people started coming into the Abbey, sniffer dogs were seen making rounds of the area. At 1 o'clock in the afternoon, when the coronation event was over, the new king and queen got into the gold state coach to start the trip back to Buckingham Palace. During the return procession, Prince Charles and Camilla were joined by about 4,000 sailors, soldiers, aviators, and other military people from all over the United Kingdom and the Commonwealth. More than 1,000 route ships were made by the Army, the Royal Air Force, and the Royal Navy. Prince Charles and his wife Camilla were expected to walk through the central arch of Buckingham Palace at exactly 1:33 p.m. At 1:45 p.m., members of the armed forces saluted them in the palace grounds. Around 2:15 p.m., members of the royal family joined them on the balcony of the palace to watch the flypast. On the night before the crowning, the king invited heads of state from all over the world to a party at Buckingham Palace. The night before the crowning, this party was held. Guests from other countries met the Prince and Princess of Wales, the Duke and Duchess of Edinburgh, the Princess Royal, and Vice Admiral Sir Tim Lawrence at the event. The last people to arrive in the royal party were the Duke and Duchess of Gloucester and the Duke of Kent. Friday was a busy day for the royal family. This was the last event they went to. The First Lady of the United States, Jill Biden, was at the event, and she was seen having a lively chat with Kate. During this time, Charles was seen talking with Olena Zelenska, the First Lady of Ukraine, and shaking hands and kissing the cheek of Mary, the Crown Princess of Denmark. Photos were taken of these events. As king, Charles III has to follow certain rules. Even though a lot has changed since Queen Elizabeth II was crowned 70 years ago, some parts of royal customs have stayed the same. A long-standing tradition in the royal realm is that a new king can only be crowned after enough time has passed since the death of the previous ruler. After her father, King George VI, died on February 6, 1952, Queen Elizabeth II became the ruler of the United Kingdom. She did not get her crown, though, until June 2, 1953. Buckingham Palace announced on October 11, 2022, that King Charles would be crowned on Saturday, May 6, 2023. This happened a little more than a month before the 70th anniversary of the crowning of his mother. He needs to stay out of politics. Everyone knows that members of the royal family are supposed to stay neutral when it comes to politics. They are, however, allowed to bring attention to certain humanitarian problems, such as mental health and climate change. He can't sign autographs or pose for selfies. Members of the British royal family are not allowed to sign their names, because there is always a chance that their signature will be faked. People say that when King Charles is asked for his name, he tells them, "Sorry, they don't let me do that." On the other hand, the then Prince of Wales broke royal protocol when he wrote Charles 2010 on a piece of paper and gave it to a victim of the terrible flash floods that hit Cornwall in 2010. Even though taking selfies with fans is not against royal rules, it is said that the late Queen did not like the habit. A report by royal journalist Victoria Murphy says that Meghan Markle turned down a picture request in 2017 and said, "We're not allowed to take selfies." Another royal fan who went to the Queen's garden party at Buckingham Palace in 2017 said that they were told they couldn't take pictures with the royal family because they didn't want people turning their backs to them. The king has to accept every gift. When a member of the royal family goes on an official tour or makes a public appearance, they have to take any gifts that are given to them. Even so, it is said that the Queen has the final say over which family members get to keep which gift. On the official royal family website, it says, "The fundamental principle governing the acceptance of gifts by members of the royal family is that no gifts, including hospitality or services, should be accepted that would, or might seem to, place the member of the royal family under any obligation to the donor. He can't eat food that has been cooked by people he doesn't know, especially shellfish. King Charles is not allowed to take food or drink from people he doesn't know, because he could get sick or be poisoned. The same goes for seafood, which royals are told to avoid so that a possible case of food poisoning doesn't slow them down during their busy lives." Grant Harold, a former royal butler and expert on proper manners, told Express in an interview that the royal family needs to be careful when eating shellfish because of their busy schedules and the risk of getting shellfish poisoning. Because of this item isn't usually on the menu at the royal residence. The king is in charge of making sure he follows dinner etiquettes. People knew that during the first course of dinner, the queen would only talk to the person sitting to her right, and during the second course, she would talk to the person on her left. Lewis Hamilton, a Formula One driver who sat to the queen's left at a luncheon, was told off by Her Majesty when he tried to talk to her at the start of the meal. Her Majesty was on the right and Hamilton was on the left. In 2015, when he was on the Graham Norton show, he said that the Queen had been at a meal where he had been asked and that he had been able to sit next to her. "I was excited, so I started to talk to her, but she said, 'No, you speak that way first, and then I'll speak that way, and then I'll come back to you.'" It's against the rules for King Charles to travel with the Prince of Wales. As a matter of royal protocol, when two direct heirs to the throne travel, they must take different planes, in case something goes wrong while they are out on the road. When Prince George turns 12, the same rule will apply to both his father, Prince William, and his son, Prince George. When he goes somewhere, he always has to bring a black outfit with him. When the royal family goes on a trip, they have to bring at least one black outfit with them. This is done to make sure that they have something to wear if they are asked to go to a funeral at the last minute. Thanks for watching this video.